I want to see what's up to everybody coming up in the room. I ain't been live in like almost 2 months, but I wanted to go live. What's going on, Sherelle? I wanted to go live tonight to actually cover this topic because in observing YouTube, you know, a lot of people online. Hold on for a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a lot of people online that I actually somewhat rock with. You know, they come online and they talk a lot of black stuff, a lot of stuff like we need to unify, we need to get together, we need to get our communities together, we need to do all this, that, and the third. They talk revolutionary stuff. They talk about stopping the gang banging. They talk about the music. They talk about a whole host of things. But Louisiana rapper D1, he made some comments last week when he came at Rick Ross and Meek Mills about their lyrics. About their lyrics, you know, about their lyrical content. And what I saw on social media was a lot of people that talk this black stuff come out against D1. And I was shocked at first. And then my wife told me, she said, what you shocked for? Most of these people ain't who they say they are. Most of these people are not who they say they are. They say that they revolutionary. They say that they black first. They say that they about this. But when it's time to really step up, they lukewarm. They lukewarm. They're not sick and tired of being sick and tired. They're not being about it. So I seen like a whole bunch of YouTubers siding with Rick Ross. Hold on, matter of fact, let me make sure I got this because I made a mistake. Hold on for a second, y'all. Let me pull this back up. I knew I did. Hold on 1 second. Let me go here. Bring this up. Because I was looking at something very interesting, and I knew it. Oh, here it go, right here. All right. So this gives some people enough time to come back up into the room. But I want to sit up. A lot of people, I'm going to talk two things before I share my screen and really get off into D1 and who D1 is. Because I like the fact that he spoke out. I like the fact that D1 spoke out against these rappers because for years, brothers like him, myself, and other women and men have been blowing the whistle, you know, against the dysfunction of our communities. And, you know, we've got minuscule, least to no support. No support from women for the most part, no support from men, black men in the community. Like, it's just when you trying to stand on the side of Christ, on the side of God, and do the right thing, people don't support you for the most part. You're not going to get supported. It's when you engaging in acts that's destructive to community. People show up to support that. People show up to argue with you. And when you show up to argue with them, you're still supporting it. So a lot of times when you have great messages from women and men, black men and women, and we're trying to push the culture forward, those rooms are most of the time empty. If there's no controversy that's coming behind it. Now, I want to start this off by saying, in years past, I often would make videos where I would say that it's not the music, right? Stay with me. It's not the music that's the problem, right? In years past, I would say that it wasn't the music that was causing the dysfunction. It was the dysfunctional culture in the black community, right? And up until recent times, I still believe that. But I'm going to tell you why I've wavered from those ways. I'll explain. When I was a kid growing up, I'm in my late 40s, right knocking at the door of 50, right? When I was young, there was no cell phones or no social media. If you was on punishment, you had to go to your room. You was just in your room. You didn't have a bunch of people from all over the world talking to you. You wasn't exposed to all this information, right? So whatever the culture was in your community or outside, that's what was influencing you. The culture was influencing the thought process and the manifestations that was coming out within the communities that we was living in. It was the culture. There was no social media. The world was a closed fist, not an open hand. We wasn't living in a world like you live today, where you can open your hand and you could touch each finger. From sitting right here at the palm of your hand, you could touch each finger. That didn't exist 40 years ago. That didn't exist 35 years ago. It didn't exist. So the culture and the community influenced the mind. The problem that you have today is when you, as a parent, when you tell your children something, they have 1,000 other people talking to them at the same time. Because now you have social media where you could be damn near omnipresent. You could be everywhere at the same time while sitting right in your living room. So now you have outside influences outside of the culture of your community from everywhere, that's become an influence. So with that, you have, I put it this way, if you go back to 1990, whatever culture was going on in the Bay Area or Southern California or Louisiana was unknown to what was going on in Philadelphia. It was unknown. You didn't have social media and things where you can see. You had to call somebody on the phone and let them tell you. You didn't know anything about that. You knew what was going on in your area. You had to travel to that place so your eyes can lay sight on that culture. So whatever dances or whatever things they had going on in the Bay Area was different 3,000 miles east in Philadelphia. But now with social media, the cultures are interchangeable. You can get it anywhere. So now the music, because online you could be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You could be any goddamn body now. You could come and create a character and be anybody, and nobody's saying, man, you got to show and prove. No, you can even gain a large following with never showing your face on YouTube. You can come online. I can come online and show my program with the youth. Watch, I'm gonna make a point. I can come online for 8 years. I can show my youth program. I can show my black wife, all my black grandchildren, talk a message and actually show it, produce it, live it. And as a black man in a black community where 80% of the community is single mother raised, I still can't get a strong women following when I'm trying to save the children, because I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do what Christ told me to do, right? It don't happen. But if I came on here and I didn't show my face, or I showed how much coke I sold back in the 90s and how many big booty women I had and all those different things. Oh, I have a whole plethora of people in here. And I disrespected women. I would have women following me and women coming here to argue with me, still following me. So social media has now become the influencer, not the culture. It's the music now influencing the minds of the children. See, at one time, it was the culture creating the music. There was a desperation in the South Bronx, a poverty-stricken area. And out of that desperation and poverty-stricken, there was an expression that morphed out of funk, that morphed out of jazz and disco. There was a music called hip-hop, and it came out. the ghetto, and it was an expression of what we was going through at the time. Now we have a place. I know you do, Sherelle, Brian. Thank you. Because I'm not talking about the ones that I get, but I'm just speaking into the multitude of the people that say that they want change, but they don't support the change that they claim that they want. And that's the totality, damn near, of our community, unfortunately. Now, social media has now become the greatest influence over the mind of the youth. This is like digital. This is like digital crack. You go in the bathroom with it. You take it in the shower with you. You sitting on the toilet with it. While you driving, you got it in your hand. It's like you can't get enough of it. You go to sleep, you got it playing. This is the new digital crack. And this is the new influencer. This is the new influencer. So now the music is influencing the minds of the youth because it's selling the youth lies, right? So now D1, who's been making positive music for years, decided to speak out, which he's been doing for years. And I seen YouTubers calling this man a hypocrite. Now, this man was an elementary school teacher. This man is a college graduate. He came back to his community and he started putting a positive message for his community. Now, some of the most revolutionary acts that a black man can do, and a black woman in America, an FBA, foundational black American, can do, is go against what the system said that we was. They said we was niggas. So we say nerds over niggas. They say that we was niggas. So we say death to the real nigga. Death to the bad B. We ain't talking about killing nobody. We talking about killing that real nigga consciousness that's in your mind. Right? We say that we are greater than our circumstances. We say that we are not who they said we were. We go get black wives and we promote it to the black community to let the black people know that it's possible, because they said that we weren't capable of doing these things. The real revolutionary acts is to be separate and be opposite of what the dominant society said that we were. You can't get more revolutionary than that, because you already know that you're going long suffering. You're going to be crucified for your own people just for life. Oh, you think you better than us. Oh, here come this nigga again. Because you have standards. You have standards. I asked the people watching me in the communities that we come from, what is the standard for a young black boy 15 to 30? How high is his bar set? And as black men and black women, how are we preparing young boys to meet the actual standards that the community would have for him as a man? I'm going to say that again. As adult black men and women, are we raising our boys, and I'm speaking about the boys right now, are we raising our boys to meet the actual standards that the black community will have for him as a leader? Are we selecting each other right, and we preparing these boys to meet those standards? Because if we're not, then what you get is what you get. A bunch of boys running around, dropping seeds in all kinds of women, being destructive to adults, to themselves, and everybody else that come in their way. This is what you get. And if they live long enough, like I did, to mature out of it, then you get some of them to speak like me. See, we like to play this game, right? And I'm going to share my screen. We got 28, just waiting for 30 people to get in the room. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to break down what I've been telling you guys for years. And there's coming a time now where we're going to have to draw a line in the sand. And either you're going to stand with the Most High or you're going to ride with Satan. Which one are you riding with? Because we're watching our communities burn to hell. We already live in communities that we don't own nothing. We already living in houses, most of y'all that y'all don't own, y'all renting. Well, how much money you got in your bank account? You know, we live in this illusion. And this is why I constantly ask. You live in Philadelphia, you live in Detroit, you live in Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, Indianapolis, all of these cities. Young black men is wilding out, wiping each other out. But who are the parents that these young boys was born to? And what was the preparation in preparing these boys into manhood? I'm just asking. See, because all of this stuff matters. So now when you got rappers that's in their 40s, that's supposed to be the face of prison reform, right? Supposed to be the face of prison reform. But at 40 years old, they still talking about catching niggas at the light. I'm confused. Because you riding on private jets. You living down in Miami in palm trees. You riding around in phantoms. But here in your city, in the city of Philadelphia, it's 400 homicides and counting. We in the beginning of November. We ain't even get to December yet. We got almost 3,000 people shot. And you still talking about hitting dudes at the light, but you supposed to be the face of prison reform, Meek Mill. This is the stuff, but how many people have the heart to say something and say it boldly and loud? How many of the people have the heart to say something and stand on it? But so what we gonna do? We gonna share the screen. I'm 17 minutes in. We got 30 people in the room. We got Bishop Mac Bone. We got Chief 18 Wheels. We got Sherelle. We got Eric B. We got Red Lipstick. Make sure y'all supporting the channel, man. Hit that cash app right there. We also got the website right here, urbannerdsworldwide.com. Over there, we got PayPal and PayPal and Venmo. We got PayPal and Venmo over there. And we also got our GoFundMe for our foundation. December 17th is our science fair up in Brooklyn again with Zyx Institute. So Urban Nerds will be pairing with Zyx Institute for another science fair, December 17th. So you guys can donate at any one of these places. And we also January, I don't have a date yet. We're taking, it should be 65 of us. We'll be going to Washington D.C. to the African American Smithsonian Museum again. So we'll be combining our programs, all black men with our programs in schools. We'll be bringing all of our children together. We'll be going to D.C. So I'll have all the flyers up probably tomorrow. You guys can donate either here at GoFundMe, right here, either our Cash App, or you can go to our website and you can donate through Venmo or PayPal. So, but let me share the screen, and I want to really get off into what it is that I'm talking about tonight. Hold on a second. Matter of fact, let me see real quick. Okay, yeah, cool. I was making sure. All right. Which one is this? Hold on. All right, yeah, I want to go here. I want to go here. All right, so this is a video of Meek Mills, and he's speaking about what the record labels do, and how they're paid to talk the manner in which they talk, right? So this is the stuff that I've been talking about. Yeah, so let's check this out.
People like Rob and myself, he opened doors for me to be on stages like this, because before I wasn't on stages like this. I was on rap. Me and people like Rob and myself, he opened doors for me to be on stages like this, because before I wasn't on stages like this. I was on rap stages rapping about, violence and guns. That we get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff. So I make sure I even align and come on talk on stages like this. But you guys, the NAACP, open up doors for people like me to be able to power forward, because the things that fund us, that don't power me forward. I just make sure, because I know better.
He said the things that fund them don't power them forward. See, he recognizes and he knows what's happening here. The play. and he's telling you what's happening. But he's being called out now because, again, you and Rick Ross got a new album, and y'all talking about the same stuff that y'all was talking about when y'all was broke. The message is being conveyed. Now, those of us that still demonically possessing their minds, see, because Romans 12:2 says, be ye not conformed to this world, but by the transforming and renewing of your mind. So I don't expect the masses to get what I'm saying right away. I expect to be persecuted by my own people for loving them enough to tell them the truth. I expect to be talked about. I expect to be beat down by my own people because they don't get it. But see, when you claim it here and you claim you get it and you can articulate and you can say, this is what it is, you can tell us that this is what it is, I got to hold you accountable. I got to hold you accountable because you're in the room with these people and you know the lyrics that you're putting out, and you know that I might want to say this song. They say, no, that ain't what sell. We're going to financially back this. This is what he's saying.
Bitch. Me and people like Rob and myself, he opened doors for me to be on stages like this because before I wasn't on stages like this. I was on rap stages rapping about, violence and guns. That we get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff. So I make sure I even align and come talk on stages like this. But you guys, the NAACP, open up doors for people like me to be able to power forward because the things that fund us, that don't power me forward. I just make sure because I know better and I'm at an age point. I'm 36. They power us really went from when we 21 to 25.
This is an older
we
video.
really don't know. I'm one of the lucky ones that made it through where I was able to get my knowledge and sense, and I'm the one that keep the line on the rap ignorance and be able to level out conversations like these and deliver it to the young people who may not attend things like this.
So let me move over. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me fix this. Right? So now we get over here, right? And we ask the question, who is D1, right? Who is D1? This is an old article, so I want to take it all the way back to 2015. So people say, well, who is this guy? He just on the scene. No, he's not. No, he's not. So before I play any videos of him, I want to read something old. Then we'll come up because he's been putting the work in, right? Former Baker Middle School teacher D1 turns to hip hop as a form of expression. New Orleans hip hop artist D1 puts a different spin on rap, rapping for a higher purpose. He writes positive rhymes about being real, righteous, and relevant. An LSU graduate and former Baker Middle School teacher, D1, aka David Augustine, went pro with his rap music in 2011. That was the year he released his popular 18-track strong mixtape. I Hope They Hear Me. And see, what I'm saying is, I hope they hear me. What I'm trying to say is, brothers and sisters been on the front line doing this kind of stuff, but a lot of times it goes quiet on the deaf ears of our people. It goes on deaf ears of what you mean? I'm loud. It goes on deaf ears of our people. So succeeding indie releases includes the Focus tape featuring DJ Manny Fresh and Psalms of David, right? Including the hit work featuring Lecrae, right? So what I'm saying is he's speaking God's word in his music, but he's also a school teacher, an elementary school teacher of children. He's also working his nonprofits and doing things in his community. He's doing the work. So, but this is old. This is 8 years ago, right? And I'm gonna fast forward it to now. And this is where I kept telling you guys that there's a mirror being held up in front into the face of the black community, and you being shown yourself by some of our people, man. And this is what we do. Watch this. In February, RCA Inspiration released D1 major label debate 6 songs, 3's up. His first headlining tour followed in March. Previously a supporting act for nationwide tours featuring Macklemore, Lupe Fiasco, and others. D1's headlining tour was another in his big steps forward. It's like moving out my mom's house, he said a few weeks ago in New Orleans. For real, it's another level of independence. D1's journey to becoming a nationally known rapper began in 2005, the year while he was a student at LSU. The rapper's best friend was killed during a robbery. Floodwaters covered New Orleans, his hometown. He broke up with his high school sweetheart, and he became the victim of an armed robbery. All of those life experiences caused me to want to turn to hip hop as a form of expression. He said it wasn't by any means a career or something I was even good at, but that's when I first started with it. Following his graduation with a business marketing degree from LSU in 2008, D1 began 2 years of teaching at Baker Middle School. It was one of the best experiences of my life, he said. I love working with the youth. I love the challenge that comes with being able to relate to them, engage them, and educate them. It's a 3-part job. During his teaching years, D1 worked at hip hop part-time. He had no professional aspiration at first. I started becoming more and more busy with music-related stuff, he said. The performance opportunities and conferences I would attend that didn't mesh well with being a full-time teacher. So I kind of led more to the music and to making the music. So this is who this brother is, D1 is. When he goes, because a lot of people online don't know D1. I know D1 from his music from years ago, being when it was a time when I tried to commit suicide years ago. I was going through my own trials and tribulations in my life. And I remember being in the church, and I came across his music and people like Lecrae and Dietrich Haddon and so many others. I came across that music. So I learned who he was years ago. And, being on the revolutionary side, I was really, I seen a lot of his videos and a lot of stuff that he talked about. So let's get off into what this guy said and why he's now being talked about. So this is a video that I put up. Hold on a second.
Pairs of your shoes because they said reformer. You could do.
He's called this stuff out, but let's come right back.
Jim Jones, you could do better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Because are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Because I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing when my best friend got killed? When Carl got killed, New Orleans know who I'm talking about. When Carl got killed and I had to go to his funeral and read the eulogy and be part of the funeral, and I got back in my car, Sway, after the funeral, and I turned on my music and I realized I'm listening to music that's glorifying the same stuff that just happened to my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me.
I want to pause it right there because that's important. I was in my car one. Not in my car. I'm sorry. I was in a gym about a year ago, and I was working out, and I was jumping my rope. I usually do about 6 sets of 4 minutes on a jump rope. So I'm jumping my rope, and Coogee Rap came on, and I'm listening to it, and I'm bobbing my head. But in the process of me bobbing my head, Coogee Rap said, if there's a record for killing the most niggas, I'm breaking it. And for 30 years, I would listen to that music. Even when I was coming through the church, I would listen to that music, right? And that day, I was jumping the rope in the gym. I finally heard it. And I'm going to tell you, Sherelle, I stopped, I put the rope down, and I changed the song. I couldn't listen to it. because I finally heard it with my ears, but I heard it with my spiritual ear, not my conditioned ear. I heard it, and I said, what am I listening to? Oh, man, that sounded crazy to me. He said, if there's a record for killing the most niggas and then I'm breaking it. Then I started thinking all the stuff I teach, and now the revolutionary aspect, we don't even own them labels. Who own that label? The people that signed off for that song to come out don't look nothing like me or you, Sherelle. They don't look nothing like me or you, Bishop Matt. They don't look like us. So now when they signed off, they heard that song. They was rubbing their hands like, yeah, we're going to cash out on this. We can make money off these Negroes talking about killing each other and wiping each other out. They doing what they actually doing outside. So they actually killing each other, and we making money off of them talking about it. Ching, ching, that's a win-win situation. Because just think about it, y'all. We riding in the car. We listening to all that. But the executives that control these streaming services, the executives of these labels don't look nothing like us. They give the final say, nothing like us. The distribution companies, they don't look nothing like us. You better not say nothing about them, but you can talk about killing your own people all day, and they gonna chain cash out on it. So even if we was talking like that, none of that money comes back to the community to fix our own communities. None of it. It's going out of our communities to bolster other groups. Just think about that. So now when you hear him speaking in this manner in which he's speaking from a form of PTSD. Normalized dysfunction. That's what he's speaking from. So let's listen to some more.
Give me chills. And I needed that moment. That was my come to Jesus moment of like, D, you got to do something different, brother, because you have a taste for this poison, but you're attracted to the poison. And rap is great. The rap game, hip hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison.
Some people saying, why would you publicly challenge certain artists that are glorifying murder and drug dealing and negativity in their music? The better question is, why would you not? If they have the audacity to publicly push these messages out there and reach the masses with them, then we should have the audacity to publicly oppose these messages. It don't go like, oh, you could put all that harmful stuff out there and reach whoever you want loudly and proudly, but we got to hit you up one-on-one on the cool. Like, if we got an issue with it, we got to say something behind the scenes and quietly, because we don't want to offend you. If we're trying to do God's work, it don't work like that. See, for the first time, a line is being drawn, and that line is making people uncomfortable because you're having to decide what side you on. Are you on the side that's okay with them messages and okay with the impact of those negative messages? Or are you on the side that's like, nah, we ain't rocking with that? You heard me? And a lot of people never had to decide which side of the line they was on, and it's making people uncomfortable right now. But that's not finna make me quiet. That's not finna make us quiet, because when you're doing God's work, it ain't something to be quiet about. It's something to be proud of.
And see, hold on. This is the response. This is the response that Rick Ross gave him. And I'm gonna play Rick Ross' response, and then I'm gonna break this down as an OG, because this is the hypocritical part. And this is the stuff that I've been talking about for years. So I'm not gonna get all preachy or go all crazy or get all loud. I'm gonna stay calm, and just because the message needs to be conveyed to the people. And sometimes I'm gonna tell you, I haven't went live in 2 months because sometimes you get burnt out. You get tired of really talking, and you feel like the message goes on deaf ears, but you know, the Most High still tells you that you got to come out and do the work. So I got to come out and I got to talk. I got to do the work. I got to I'm working behind the scenes with the children in my community. I'm doing the work as a community man, but this is important. So let's hear what Rick Ross had to say, and then I'll response. This idiotic response that Rick Ross said.
Wait. Little man, who John, you could do better. Rick Raw, you could do better. I gotta see you do better. Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. You speaking on that, yeah, Meek Mill. You just, boy, you know how many niggas died this summer? They released self-destruction. This niggas dying right now. It's gonna be niggas don't make it to see in the morning. Get that basket off your head, boy, and come together with real niggas around the world. So when your grandma need a kidney, nigga, since you want to.
Why would he want to come together with real niggas around the world? Last I checked, real niggas do nothing to build their community. They do everything to destroy their community. That's what a nigga do. A nigga, I don't know no black person that was born a nigga. A nigga is made and manufactured in America by American culture. So a real nigga, that's why we say death to the real nigga. We want to kill that nigga in your mind. A nigga want to make a bunch of babies and don't take care of them. A nigga wanna flood the whole community with heroin and cocaine. A nigga wanna abuse his woman. A nigga wanna complain about the system but do nothing about it. A nigga is the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst. So why would he wanna join with niggas all over the world where a nigga is the white man's bitch? That's what a nigga is. So why would he want to be a real nigga? We speaking out against real nigga culture. And we waking up. We're waking up. We're deprogramming and producing a better black man. A revolutionary-minded black man that can stand before his people with his chin in the air, with integrity and his dignity intact. That's thinking about tomorrow. That's thinking about his progeny. That's thinking about legacy, sacrifice, commitment. Why would he want to be a real nigga? What is a real nigga? Huh? A real nigga? But see, this is the mentality. See, what he needs to understand is more people is going to download and stream his music than them turkeys he give out. I knew a guy that had corners doing 30, 40,000 a day giving out turkeys and toys, but they killed more people in the community with the drugs than the toys that they gave away. This is what happens when you have a desperation of people that's not used to nothing. And we get the white man's trinkets by making music, talking about killing ourselves. Let's see those CEOs that control those record labels and those streaming services that don't look like us. Let's see them make music talking about hitting one of them at the stoplight. Let's see how far his music get. I'm gonna say it again. Let's see Rick Ross, Meek Mills, Jim Jones, all these old niggas. Yeah, I said old niggas. Let's see them make a song about hitting these CEOs, record executives, them and their people at the stoplight. And let's see how far that music get. Let's see if those same groups will bankroll that kind of music. But they'll bankroll you killing yourself, and you'll stand here and champion it. This is how messed up we are. This is why I said no man comes into the kingdom but by the renewing of his mind. Because your mind is corrupted by the ways of the world, man. And we ask, do you stand with Christ or you stand with Satan? Do you stand with the Most High or do you stand with Beelzebub? Who do you stand with? Do you stand with Satan and his minions? Are you doing Satan and his minions' work? That's destroying the communities. Let's listen to some more, though. Let's just listen to some more.
Go viral. I'm going to show you how to go viral, little man, but go viral feeding them kids in your hood. Go viral giving them bikes away. Go viral Christmas time. Now, don't be saying Jim Jones just gave away goddamn 6 figures worth of clothes in his hood, and you a nigga who talking, looking vegan, knowing you eat more goddamn Piggly Wiggly bacon than any other nigga out here. Shut up.
Now you start now listen. One thing a nigga can do, and those of y'all that's my hardcore followers, y'all seen the video I made over the years, 3 years ago and 2 years ago, the coon character. The difference between a coon and a Sambo. We use the coon and the sambo. We use them the wrong way. Who we call a coon is really a sambo. The coons in the communities are a lot of these. The real coon is a lot of these so-called fake black revolutionaries that's talking about the white man, that's talking about the community, that's talking about the government, but they either too lazy or too cynical to do anything about it. That's a coon that know how to talk all the talk, that know who the enemy is, but won't do nothing to change it. A sambo is somebody that just totally gives up and just sides with the enemy. These are coons. And one thing about a real nigga coon, one thing about him, he has a 15th degree black belt and destroying his own people and talking about his own people. Oh man, he does it with ease. I mean, remember Neo in the Matrix when he finally figured out Agent Smith and them at the end, and he was beating them up and it didn't even matter? That's how niggas beat on their own people. They beat on them with just ease. It's not even a thought. Right there, they just jump right at your people. Real niggas and bad bitches destroy their own people without even thinking. They destroy their own people without even thinking. It don't even matter. You are the op. So why would D1 want to be a real nigga? A real nigga is a hater of his people. A real nigga is a Judas to his people. How can a nigga ever be anything good for black people when we know every baby that comes out of the womb of a black woman don't come out a nigga? He's made a nigga by American culture. He's not born a nigga. A nigga is made in American culture. But you want to call yourself a real nigga. That's why the Most High told me in my spirit to come with death to the real nigga. Because we want to kill the real nigga consciousness in your mind. Death to the real nigga. Nerds over niggas. Urban nerds, not urban shooters. You are not who they said you were. You are greater than your circumstances. We use words to change the way that you think. We use words to penetrate through that sick mind of yours. Because if we could change the way that you speak, we can change the way that you think. If we could change the way that you think, we can change your manifestations and outcomes. We can even change this infected in his brain brother and the way he talking down on the brother for calling him out for lyrics. He called them out for lyrics. He didn't call them out for nothing else. He said, hey, your lyrics is destructive. He took offense and got on some real nigga shit. Because this is what niggas do. And this is why we got urban nerds trying to prepare the babies at a very young age to deprogram them. That's right. That's right. The music needs to be an upliftment. It needs to be medicine and food to the mind. The culture. So why would I want to be a real nigga? But let's listen to some more.
Yeah, Mr. Rasta, man. Mr. Vegan, man. Make sure you go viral. Thanksgiving when you stuff the stuffing upon the turkey bomber clot asshole. Make sure it dangle from the net. Start with the old lady, then bless the old lady all the way down to the youth, them. You understand, Rasta, man? And look, man, I know real Rastas, which you are far from. You heard me?
So hold on. The culture that's D1.
There's never been a better.
Yeah, all these damn commercials. Hold on. Here we go. What's going on, Nicole Marie?
Apply to me, but I love you too much to not be honest with you. And right now you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. Oh, then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist, just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country, done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University. Ultimately, I'm just trying my best to do God's work in this industry, bro. Then you say, won't I go viral with my own content? Brother, you're a little late to the party. I've been successful for a while, man, and not having to glorify the things that's harmful to our community. Could you do that? I'm curious. Bro, I work with some of the same artists as you, The Game, Lupe, Big Crit, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Currency, Kevin Gates, Sway, Charlamagne. These people know me, man. So as black men, let's do our best to do God's work and not glorify what's holding us down, man.
Writing all of these lyrics, if I'm rapping to an audience that ain't trying to hear it, they'd rather me blow a bag than rap about building wealth. They'd rather me get some brain than rap about mental health. Don't censor me. Eventually, try to make sense of me. I don't need your dollars. I need you to think sensibly. You feel good now that you're vegan. Oh, that's funny. If you're still promoting garbage, you just a healthy dummy. My city don't even love me. I'm calling it how it is. I'm a threat to the power structure that's brainwashing our kids. I'm fracturing all the egos of illegitimate heroes. I only look up to one man, because he died, then he rose. I keep it too real, because life don't last too long. If everybody likes me, I'm doing something too wrong. Maybe in time, they'll appreciate my words like Nipsey. Till then, I'm going to see how far keeping it real gets me.
Now, this is important, right? Because Rick Ross says something that was important. Rick Ross said that you're going viral now because you're talking about us. But this is the question that I will have for Rick Ross if it ever reached him. If you wasn't making the music that you was making, would you be viral? If you was making the music uplifting God and uplifting the youth and propagating the word to produce better young men in our communities, would you be viral? See, this is the hypocrisy and when you're messed up in your mind, man, and why we use the word as our sword to cast out demons. It don't matter if 2 people is in here. As long as I'm doing the work, that's what matters. But we use the word as our sword because I understand what I'm up against. And he's proud because in his speech, when he's talking, he's telling D1 that he's only viral because he's speaking on them. But you guys are only viral because of the lyrics that you perpetuate within the community. Because if you spoke a positive message, with those same record labels push your music? And that's the part where I keep trying to tell you guys, I wouldn't care. I'm not telling you to be Christian or whatever it is that you, whatever it is that you believe in, whether you're Muslim, whatever it is, you stand on the righteous side of the Most High, man, and you stand on righteousness. You call it out. There has to be a line drawn in the sand. You can't be lukewarm. Where are we going with this? Every day in my community, I see black boys dying and black mothers crying. Right? When do you get tired of it? Hold on. Okay, here we go right here. Hold on. Let me hold on. Let's come over here real quick. So this was I'll play some of it. This was a good conversation here with D1 and Turk from Cash Money from the Hot Boys. And Turk was playing a little devil's advocate, but I like Turk. And I like the conversation that's being had. See, Nicole, I could sit down with a group of brothers. Let's just say you got some brothers that disagree with me, that agree or may side with Rick Ross and them, right? If we're having a grown man dialogue and it's respectful, we can have a conversation. Because I know for a fact I'm not operating. I say let my words be your words, let my thoughts be your thoughts, let my ways be your ways. Touch my tongue that my words and my voice may be a spiritual injection to raise these people up and change them from their wicked ways. That it may turn them around and let them see the light of the day. And they may walk into the best versions of themselves. So when I come, I'm not coming in a version of me. I'm coming in a version of you, the Most High. So when you see me, you see the Most High. So there's no way I can lose because there's no ego. You ain't talking to George. You talking to the God that's in me. So we can have the conversation all day. All day. When you want to have it. Because I come from that. I come from the shootouts. I come from the kidnappings. I come from the drug dealing. But I never came online. When the Most High gave me my assignment, I never came online ever showing pictures of my past. I showed pictures of my wife and my grandchildren to me, not my past. What I've done, because I never wanted to gain a following. I never wanted to gain a following from who I used to be. Because just like Saul, that person died and Paul rose up. I ain't that person no more. I'm who you see sitting here now. That person wasn't a good person. That person's gone. So I didn't come. I never came that way. I didn't want that kind of following from the youth as a real nigga. So I have all the pictures. Like I said, I'm knocking on 50. I was around in the 80s. I was around in the early 90s. I was there. I participated in it, Rob. I seen it. I was there. But why do you have to know about that? See, before I play this video, one of the main reasons why I was told when I was given my assignment by the Most High not to lead that way, because when George Macon is leading that way and who I used to be, and I'm perpetuating it now, there's a lot of families that was hurt or was affected by the life that I was living. There's mothers and children that was affected by the life that George was living at one time. What about them? Why am I rehashing or reliving things of the past that was 20 and 30 years ago? What about some of those men, sons that may be grown now, that may say, oh, that's the guy right there? So I learned to stop disrespecting the mercies of God, who allowed me to survive and live through, to tell a story that I may tell the youth that ain't the way you're supposed to go. So why do I gotta rehash it or relive it or build a channel off of flossing and telling you I'm gonna hit you at the light and all that kind of stuff? Nah, I don't need to do none of that. I don't need to do none of that. That's not necessary. Because what you have now is YouTube channels of a bunch of old G's making money, telling old stories about who they shot, beefing about who was who, a bunch of old rappers still talking about killing people. And the youth is just sitting there eating it up. And they only gravitate towards that. They don't gravitate towards the positivity. Because this is what you're giving them a steady diet of. You're feeding them this. So again, I say we can have the conversation with anybody. But take the ego out. Let my ways be your ways. Let my thoughts be your thoughts. When I speak, I pray that you guard my tongue and protect my mind. That when I speak in your way. That my words be transforming. That's how we should be moving. See, the numbers go down when we speak this way. But I'm comfortable with that now. Because I understand those that stay are those that got an ear to hear. And those that stay when I have the heart to really speak in the way that Most High tells me to speak, those that stay are the ones that's supposed to receive the message. And then you take this message out And you spread this message out to the people. You speak this message out boldly. Don't be lukewarm. Because where I come from, I see black bodies on the ground and mothers crying every day, every other day, or something on the news all the time. So when are we going to stop being lukewarm and just speak it boldly? We want to complain about the conditions of the community. We want to complain about the conditions of the community, right? But when it's time to start talking God's word, everybody get lukewarm. You too busy worrying about what people going to say. You too busy worrying about you better be like John the Baptist when he saw Christ coming. Stop playing. Let me play something. See, y'all got me preaching. I said I wasn't going to preach.
Come about, sir.
Well, I love those brothers.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that you could get into it with people from loving them so much that I wanted to be honest with them. Just about the fact that they have massive platforms and they speak for millions in the black community. So to continually use that massive platform to glorify murder and drug dealing in their music, like what I was hearing from the recent singles that just dropped, I was just like, yo, you can do better. And I said that. And I said that on Sway in the Morning. And in me saying that, what they say, a hit dog gonna holler, you know what I mean? Because I'm saying this passionately because I'm just like, it's confusing messaging to the youth when they're like, whoa. And all I'm doing is reiterating what I said on Sway. It's confusing messaging to the youth when they're like, man, Meek Mill is the face of prison reform, but Meek Mill is also talking about getting cats murked at the red light in his new song and talking about putting a bag on people's head and all that. And when Ross is doing the same thing, it's confusing, you know? And it makes other communities not take our community seriously. So all I did was speak on that. And the fact that I spoke on, like, look, I love you too much to not be honest with you, because so many millions of people feel the way I feel, but they just intoxicated with the ignorance.
It's called a silent majority as well, too.
A silent majority, bro.
You
and a brother like me that's just like, man, I'm here to serve God, man. Like at the end of the day, I got to read this before we get started. Matthew 10:37. If you love your father or mother more than you love me, you are not worthy of being mine. Or if you love your son or daughter more than me, you are not worthy of being mine.
I want y'all to pay attention.
With that being said, these attachments that artists have to the industry, to just doing what they said people want to hear, or to doing what their record labels are requiring them to do, that means that, and I'm not just talking about those artists now, I'm talking about artists in general. That means a lot of artists who are in very popular positions and rich positions, they just rich slaves.
I think it takes growth, you know, and everybody got their time where they reach a level of where D1 at, you know what I'm saying? Even me being an artist, you know.
I'm gonna pause this for a minute. This is important, right? This is important dialogue that he's having with Turk. Now, Turk is taking a different approach, but I want to show you how two grown men that have been through things in their life can have a conversation. And they don't have to agree, but they can have an understanding of a conversation because the word is starting to penetrate and get through to Turk, where Turk may not fully agree what he's saying, but he knows what he's saying is right. Just watch this. Let's check this out.
I tell people, you know, don't be influenced by what I do. Be inspired to reach inside yourself to do what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think from some of the places where we grew up at, you know what I'm saying, we still have that mental picture of how we grew up, and we express ourselves and we paint these pictures, you know what I'm saying, not to necessarily glorify, because I think glorification comes in when you telling them this what you need to go do versus I'm just painting a picture. Because if you think about it, Denzel Washington, and I use this all the time, he played bad cop in Training Day. You know what I'm saying? It's a role. It's an act. When he go home, he's Denzel Washington. He's not that bad cop. And just as well as Martin and Will, they played bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So I think rappers get a more like backlash, you know what I'm saying? When they rap these lyrics. Now, you right, and I feel like give them time in a you know, a little space to grow, because we all have to grow to be a D1
With all
in
due,
our speech. You know what I'm saying?
with all due respect, what about when you're 47 years old?
That don't mean we're grown. That don't mean we're grown. That don't mean we mentally mature. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 42 years old, you know what I'm saying? And I stand for family. You feel me? I denounced the streets, you know what I'm saying? When I came home out of prison, and I got backlash for it. The old me will be going back and forth, trying to, you know, keep my image, whatever. But I realized I got a wife. I realized I got kids. So certain things that I would normally do in these situations, I think before I react now. Everybody, no matter how old you is, I see a lot of people older than me that's rich, but mad, sad, depressed, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be more of a have you grow spiritually, mentally, you know what I'm saying, to say you a spiritual man, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody not there.
And watch this, brother. We talking about public figures who are putting out public content. Public messages deserve public responses. So we almost getting to a point in society where people saying, man, you can't even say somebody's music whack no more. Like that's hating, that's wrong, da. All I'm doing is giving commentary on content, not on people's character as a person, on content that's coming out. I'm saying, I know you better than that. I know that y'all, because y'all are amazing businessmen. And so many artists are amazing human beings off the mic, but when they get on the mic, your music reaches more people than giving away turkeys.
But don't you think sometimes it ain't what we saying, is how we saying it, you know? And not to make it about me, but I had a situation with Rick Ross, you know, and when I went to Drink Champs,
these are the conversations that we should be having, and we should be able to, as men and women, we should be able to have these conversations and disagree, but we got to get to a common place. So I like the dialogue they have. It's like another 2 minutes. I like the dialogue that they having because it's important, and I'll break down why I played this.
You know, I said some things, and the way how I said it, when I went back and replayed it, I was like, damn, if I was any one of those guys, I'd probably feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? So when Rick Ross did respond to me, I was trending. You feel me? Rick Ross being the businessman he is, it's an opportunity for him to jump out there. And he promoting his wings and everything else he got, but he disrespected my wife. I had to swallow that. I was getting phone calls like, bro, da. I like, nah, bro. I had to take accountability for how I delivered the message, even though I was trying to be correct at my speaking, but it came out the wrong way. And I think he took it the wrong way, and that's how he responded. Sometimes
now what he's saying is D1 should convey the message in a different way. I disagree. D1 should say the message the same way he's saying it. You gotta be bold. You can't be lukewarm. You gotta stand 10 toes down, and you gotta profess the word. You can't pussyfoot around. That's not the way it works. So let's listen on.
It ain't what we saying, is how we say it. You know what I'm saying?
This the part I want to make clear to everybody. I don't mind if my spirit irritates someone else's demons. That don't make.
Ooh. He said, ho.
And if my spirit irritates someone,
saying is how we say it. You know what I'm saying?
This the part I want to make clear to everybody. I don't mind if my spirit irritates someone else's demons. That don't make me feel like I did something wrong to everybody. I don't mind if my spirit irritates someone else's demons. That don't make me feel like I did something wrong. That make me feel like I did what God has put us here to do. In Romans 12:2, it says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. I'm not trying to follow the rules of what people say. You got to tiptoe around this person's feelings. People will justify evil, and people's excuse for evil is called entertainment. That's their excuse for evil nowadays. Oh, it's just entertainment. People will justify evil, and people's excuse for evil is called entertainment. What people say, you got to tiptoe around this person's feelings. People will justify evil, and people's excuse for evil is called entertainment. That's their excuse for evil nowadays. Oh, it's just entertainment. You know, man, what I heard when I press play and what everybody else is hearing is you in first person glorifying the murder of people in your own community, selling dope to people in your own community. But we want to run behind, one, don't say nothing about that person's art in public. Don't say that out loud. You should have hit them up one-on-one. Or two, we want to say, man, that's just entertainment. That ain't real. I was telling Beehive before we started, there's a difference between glorification, narration, and education.
Correct.
When cats are glorifying something, that puts it on a pedestal to where it's like, this behavior right here, this ain't out of survival mode. This is me already being up. I'm already winning in life financially, but I'm still choosing to glorify and make this behavior seem admirable.
So this is important that in the communities that we come from, we actually know, because like he said, narration, glorification, a lot of this stuff is being glorified, and they try to say that it's just entertainment, but the entertainment is demonic. It's demonic entertainment. She's saying, you got girls saying that they coochie pink and they booty hole brown, and you got little kids at barbecues saying this stuff. This is the stuff that's being perpetuated amongst our people. You know, if you go over to hold on. If you go over here, let's make this bigger real quick. Jadakiss believes labels should be held responsible for violent lyrics. So it's not just me. It's not just me. He came off and said, let me find what he said. Labels are putting out life insurance policies on artists to profit off their demise. Jadakiss breaks down why the label should have the finger pointed at them as well. The artists who are actively incriminating themselves on records for more YouTube streams. This does not apply to drill artists, but that was a good example. What's your thoughts? So wait a minute, hold on. This is another one. Damn, where's that part? Hold on for a second. I gotta find it. Wait a minute. Let me go out of here and come back. Hold on. Hold up for a second. Let's go out of here and come right back. Pull that article up. It was, which one was I in? I'm in the shade room. When he pulled it up, his sickness is disgusting. That's when he don't get caught up. Okay, here we go. All right, hold on. Record labels are successful online since they putting out. Yeah. So, all right, hold on. There you go. Yeah, record labels are being successful off nonsense. Somebody went out and did something stupid, recorded a song about it, and they was able to get a lot of streams that become a thing with the whole drill scene. They actually going out, getting active and doing stuff, and then go into the studio and make a song about it. And the record labels is perpetuating. So he's saying that these guys are committing this stuff and they're getting lots and lots and lots of streams off of it, right? So you had Meek Mills. Meek Mills responded. Hold on. Meek Mills responded to the other day. He responded to D1 where he said, "Nah, we do everything. LOL. I was rapping this way when I became the face of reform. That's how I got here. Y'all forgot that fast." So he's saying that he became the face of reform by making the music that he made. So this is the thing. You get there. So now once you get in the room, why do you keep perpetuating? You have to change your message because you no longer living the way that you was living prior to getting in that room. And this is, let me share now. You're no longer living that life. And like I said, when we giving this message to the youth, what message are we giving? I look online now, I see former kingpins, all this stuff go together, right? And I'm glad we was up to like 42, we back down to 26 people. So I'm glad I got the people that want to hear the message, right? We got people today online that we got former so-called kingpins. They got YouTube channels glorifying. They try to say that they're not glorifying. They're trying to tell you stories about what you shouldn't do, but that's bullcrap. They glorifying it because they know that the youth is coming in only to hear that. If they was coming on talking the stuff that I talk, would nobody be in there? But because they coming on, they got the old pictures of their furs, their jewelry. I was an ex-kingpin. I was the man. I sold 35 keys every hour and all that kind of stuff. And people, the youth come in because the young men are enamored by that. They're enamored by it. And that's how you gain your following. That's how you gain your following. If you came on here and you put God first, I don't care if you was a Muslim. If you put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, right? You put Allah first, right? Or I decide I put the Most High, I put Christ first for me, right? If you, whatever it is that you believe, right? People are not going to come over there. Nah, they're going to flee from that. They're going to flee from that. But if I find an old picture of me, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, something in there. Hold on. I thought that I did. Oh, you know what? I erased them off of this thing here. Hold on, matter of fact. Hold up real quick. Where we at? I got so much stuff in here scrambled. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. No, I ain't gonna find it. Right, I ain't gonna find them right now. No, I ain't gonna come up. Oh, I'm looking for something. Give me 1 second. It should have been in my jaws. Let me see. Let me see. Old pictures. That's me. That's me kneeling down in the red jacket. Like if we start getting like old pictures of back in the day. Old pictures of us back in the day when we was running wild and doing crazy stuff. Where do I go with that? I got a bunch of kids coming in, young men coming and calling me OG and old head, but they calling me OG and old head for all the wrong reasons. I want people to I want this. What I'm about to say right now is for a lot of the older cats, right? I want this to be important, right? Because I got pictures in here I can show, but I was given instructions not to do it, right? I want the older cats to understand something I'm about to say. When you start glorifying your past and you've been implicated in murders, or you've been a part of, let's say you were selling dope in a community and people died from your batches. There's a whole bunch of stuff that the Most High have allowed you to survive to be able to tell your story. When you go to tell your story and you're telling it in the way that you're telling it for profit now, what about all the other people that was hurt? You have no care for those people. What if one of the victims' son or daughter see you online today talking about the shit, the escapades and the things you did, and you know that you might be responsible back in 92 for the death of her father or the death of his father, but y'all online just talking. Why? What are we doing? This is the stuff that I'm telling, but this is the common sense that I know our people don't use. I know this. And this is why you got to be careful when you on here talking, especially when you my age. You come from the 90s. You was in them streets, Philadelphia, D.C., Baltimore. Oh, it was some gunplay involved. There was always something involved where it was something that hurt some people. So why lead with that? Why not respect the families of the people that's been hurt and just trying to lead another way? And let's create a lane for positivity. That's what I'm saying. It's people in my city that love me to death. But it's also people in my city that probably hate me. F that nigga, man. I wish he was dead. I wasn't no saint. I don't come from Bloomfield Hills. I come from the 12th district of the King Session District of Southwest Philly. And that one district averaged 50 homicides a year. That one district. I grew up in that. I was a part of that. So like I said, there's people that love me, depending on who you're talking to. And there's some other people like, man, F them niggas from over there. So why would I come online today where the Most High has blessed me to walk the street without a gun, teach, talk to the youth? I come on here talking about stuff, reliving the past. We got to stop. So when you get a certain age, when you get to a certain age, some of that stuff that we was talking, some of that stuff that we was doing, we got to let that go, bro. We got to let it go. We got to let it go. We got to hold on for a second. Wait, matter of fact, yeah, hold on. Yeah, let me do this. Let me do this while we're in. We got to move into. Here we go. Yeah, let me share my screen real quick. This is what I try to lead with now. Let me see. How do I get it? Oh, this is a video. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't do it right. Hold on. Let me stop sharing real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Damn, hold on. I went down too far. Hold on. I'm trying to show me. These are videos. Oh, all these is videos. I don't have the pictures. All right, hold on. So I got to do it this way then, I think. I'm trying to pull up something real quick, but I'm learning how to use this damn thing. Because it won't let me. No, man, this ain't it. This ain't the one. All right, I think this is it here. This is the stuff that we're leading with. That's me right here in the back, and we're doing things in the community. Let me why the sound ain't playing? Where the sound at? All right, oh, I'm not getting the sound like I want to. I was trying to do something, but it's not playing the way that I want to play it. So it's not working out the way I wanted to work out. So I was trying to get a message. Who remember, who know, how many people, is anybody in here from the West Coast? Anybody in here from the West Coast? Let me see. Anybody in here from the West? I got, we had this guy, we had YG come down. We had YG, we had a book bag giveaway. YG and a couple of guys from the West Coast came through and kicked it with us. You know, we was doing some stuff. This was in the summertime, right before the summertime was over. So he came down. It's just stuff that it's stuff that we try to do. It's stuff that we try to do in the community, man, to move the culture forward. I mean, the mood of culture for it. So I don't want to lead with destruction, or I don't want to lead with death to the people. We got stuff that we doing, man. The people that we actually really doing, like really doing real work, where we live at. So I just wanted to just come live today because I haven't went live in like 2 months, and I just wanted to just give a message to the people, man. Stop being so lukewarm. D1 didn't say nothing wrong. He's actually right. We hypocrites because we complain about these rappers in one breath. We complain about these record labels, but then when you get somebody that actually says something, you mad because he said it. This is the idiot stuff that goes on in our communities, man. You mad because the man said it. Yeah, I ain't got none of the pictures in here. I erased everything. I was trying to show some stuff, but I ain't got nothing in this joint. on this joint. Yeah, we mad because the guy stepped out and he decided to speak out and say something. We criticizing him. But like I said, we got matter of fact, let me do this because I want it before we get out of here. Let me do this one more time for you guys, real quick. I got do I have those pictures? We have a trip December the 17th. We're going to be, hold on. December the 17th, we're going to be in New York with Zyx Institute. We're having our science fair again. The science fair is kicking off again. We're going to have the science fair. This was us in Baltimore at the Black Wax Museum. This was me at the Philadelphia Crime Prevention with the new police commissioner with Urban Nerds for our foundation. So this is some of the stuff that we're doing. You guys can support us right over here, either our GoFundMe or our Cash App or Urban Nerds Worldwide. You can support through Venmo on the website, through Venmo or PayPal. So like I said, we have hold on. No, I don't know how to pull these joints up. Oh, okay, hold on. Yeah, but we got the science fair. I gotta learn how to work this stuff. I'm over here messing up. We got the science fair coming up December 17th. Urban Nerds with Zyx Institute. We got the African American Smithsonian Museum in Washington D.C. coming up. So we got some stuff coming up. I'm working on a coding camp right now. We have the okay for the springtime for Dell. Dell was going to donate 40 laptops to provide for us for our coding camp here in Southwest Philadelphia. So we got some stuff bubbling on the ground, things we want to do. We want to create our own coding camp. I got a married couple that teach tennis. So we already created a tennis camp. We got a couple things that we're going to do. We got a GED program. We got a GED program coming. We got a you have a choice bounce back program for kids 17 to 20, young men 17 to 25. So we got young men coming out of juvenile lockup and coming out of lockup. We have programs where we get them in apprenticeship programs. We can get them to go into the military. And I used to be staunchly against the military, but I'm going to tell you this. If going into the military can save the life of some of these black men in these cities where instead of them being on if going into the military in a city like Philadelphia could save the lives, instead of, see, some of these guys, if you roll past them in 2021 on that corner, they was on the same corner in 2023. 2 years later, the same corner. Just imagine, Brother Moses, if they just went to the Navy and they went to school and they learned the trade while in the military, and they came out now with a trade that they can go to work with and make a living off of it, where they don't have to run back to the corner. So I would rather you be in the military than be in prison or have a hot Glock on the block in your hand ready to kill somebody. So we got the program. We have apprenticeship program. We have mental health assessments. We have the military. We have a couple corporations coming in. We're gonna have we're working on some stuff through my cousin Mitchell Little here in the city to get scholarships for some, for some of these young men and women 17 to 25 through Urban Nerds. So they come through Urban Nerds, and then we get them put placements. We also working on mental health assessments for juvenile delinquents. Because in the juvenile justice system, what's happening right now in the southeastern district of Pennsylvania, you have a lot of juveniles that's going into courtrooms and they never had an assessment. A lot of these kids are suffering from intellectual disabilities and so many other disabilities, but they're being sentenced to juvenile life or being certified as an adult. And a lot of these kids, cognitive skills are off, or they on like first grade reading levels at 16 years old. And then what you see what I've learned in this business is you have a young man that goes shoots up a block party, right? And we're angry. He just shot 5 people. Lock them up and throw them away. But let me explain something to y'all. When you do that without getting a proper psychological assessment of that child and mandated as a state regulations, what stops the other child from doing it? Because we have a lot of undiagnosed intellectual disabilities and all kinds of disabilities in the Black community that go undiagnosed, and it turns into criminal within our communities. We have to get ahead of this right now and know the children that we're dealing with in our communities. So Urban Nerds, through and working in conjunction with other programs now. See, when I was at that Philadelphia Crime Prevention, matter of fact, wait, hold on. Matter of fact, so that way y'all don't be thinking I just be blowing smoke up y'all behinds. Let me do this. I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me show you what I was doing. Let me show you what I've been doing outside. Where's the video? Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen so that way y'all can get an outstanding understanding for what I'm talking about and what we're putting on the table and what we're bringing to the table. So
and the only people who are going to get us out of this is us, not the president.
Now this lady here is a psychiatrist and the doctor, so she breaks this down, right? But I actually spoke before her, but the way that I did this video, hold on. So this right here, this was at the Philadelphia Crime Summit. So this is the incoming police commissioner, right? So this was the crime summit.
They both also addressed.
That's me right here. That's me sitting right here. So you have the governor there, the deputy mayor, the mayor, everybody, police commissioner, because we've been averaging over 500 homicides, right? So you have a whole bunch of programs. Everybody was there to find out what are some of the remedies that we can bring to curb the murders and the shootings here in the city of Philadelphia. So this was on at University campus, St. Joseph University. So I was there. My cousin was sitting right next to me. He just came home from doing 33 years in the feds, right? So when I spoke, this is what I said.
That I don't care if my name is on the monarchy, that we have to stand behind each other and work. That is the only way we change what is happening in our communities.
Urban Nerds Foundation. The same as my cousin said, a lot of us been behind that wall. We've been through a lot of different things. And I'm hearing a lot of stuff today, but one thing that I'm not hearing that we go through in our community is PTSD and intellectual disabilities. A lot of our youth they're not being diagnosed. They go on in front of these juvenile prisons, in front of these juvenile judges, and they're being sentenced to long sentences, but they never had a psychological evaluation. My son ain't growing up in the streets. He's 15 years old. 4 of his classmates, 4 of his friends was killed last year. Back in the 90s and the 80s when we were growing up, we experienced death. I've been to about 40 funerals. We suffer from PTSD. A lot of our kids have intellectual disabilities, and some of us understand what that is. Our children is not getting the proper assessments. A kid go and shoot up a block party or go and just do some unimaginable acts, but he's born with certain disabilities. He's not, they're not, we're not, what I'm saying is that kid may be in trouble, may be done, but what about all the kids coming behind him? We don't even pay attention to that kind of stuff. We complain about the things that we go through, but in that youth study center and here in the East Coast corridor and these juvenile prisons, how many of us are pushing for our kids to get the proper assessments that they should get, coming from the homes that they get, coming from the homes that they come from? I'm not hearing none of that in there. And I'm an advocate of that because I have a 15-year-old son that's born with an intellectual disability. If he walked in here right now, you wouldn't even know it. He can talk, he can interact with everybody, but he reads on a 5th grade reading level. He's about to be 16 years old. So I want to hear more of that because coming from these areas of Southwest North Philly, our kids are experiencing a lot of different things, but we got to get our kids these proper assessments, man. And I know, I forgot her name, but she works in the prisons. So I'm sure she sees it. But I want us to be more diligent because if we want to focus on our children and crime, a lot of our kids have cognitive skills are off. And we don't speak to that. We just want to throw them away. So this is the work that we're doing. We're not out here just running our mouth, talking trash. We out here. We sitting at the table with these people. We in these city council meetings. We doing the work, right? We got the program with the babies. We doing the work. We don't just have a program. We actually take our program to City Hall, to these people, and we demand things to be done. So we have shootings that go on. So when Meek Mills is talking about shooting a nigga at the light, I got a problem with that. Because Meek Mills ain't out here with me when I'm in here with these people talking about this. You talking about prison reform over there with the billionaires, but then you making songs talking about hitting a nigga at the light. Where here I am, I'm trying to get laws changed in the state of Pennsylvania where these kids are getting the proper assessments before they go in front of these judges. This shit is serious. It's the same thing in Chicago. It's the same thing in Milwaukee. It's the same thing in Atlanta. A lot of these kids are on 2nd and 3rd grade reading level. They're 17 years old. They out here carrying guns. They like damn near mentally retarded. So we got to get them while they're young. But again, a lot of this stuff go on deaf ears. You know, this is not a message that's salacious or sexy to people, but it's a message that's real, and it's a message that if it's not being heard, these things can come knocking on your door between tonight and tomorrow, man. So we gotta really start to make the change, man. So I'm gonna cut this video short here, man. I want to thank those that stayed to get this message. I want to thank you guys. If any of you guys donated, I want to thank you guys for donating because it definitely costs money to do the things that we need to do. I would rather get the money from my people than have to go to the white man and get it. But sometimes that's the route that you have to go, because if I'm not talking about a woman's ass or talking about how many people I shot, I mean, you know, that's just where a lot of our people are in these times. So we're gonna still do the work regardless. However we got to get it done, we're gonna get the work done, and we're gonna go to these places. And I'm gonna speak on behalf of my people because I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator most high that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information, and when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. It's time that we start having this conversation on the job, at the water cooler, having pillow talk with your wife, walking your dog, on the phone with your homie, in the hair salon with your girlfriends. The conversation needs to be had, and there has to be a shift. There has to be a change in the thinking. And as I said before, if we use words to change the way that they speak. If we can change the way that you speak, we can change the way that you think. If we can change the way that you think, we can change the way that you see yourself. If we can change the way that you can see yourself, we can change the outcomes that you manifest. If we can change the outcomes that you manifest, we can change our communities. And if we can change our communities, we can begin to raise up young boys and women that will meet the standards that the community will have in them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be a change. But it has to first start with the changing of the mind. Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to the ways of this world, but by the renewing of your mind. 2 Corinthians 6:17. Come out from amongst them and be ye separate. You have to make a choice and draw a line in the sand. Do you stand on the righteous side of the Most High, or do you stand with Satan? Where you going with it? Stop pussyfooting through the tulips, tiptoeing through the tulips. Stop playing. Because people dying, man. People dying. Either we gonna make change or we ain't. What's going on, brother Moses? My beloved brother Moses is up in here, man. I'm glad that you in here, man. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, man. I love that brother Moses, man. One of the most intelligent brothers in YouTube, man. On YouTube, I'm telling y'all. Yeah, but I'm gonna cut it short here. Craig Harper, what's going on? Let's see. Hold on before we go. We got brother Moses. We got crazy Craig Harper. We got Bishop Matt. Nicole Marie, as always, thank you for showing up. We got Earth Angel. We got Chief, 18 Wheels. Albert Choice, thank you for the $25 super chat. Always Brother Rob. So, like I said, we got people in here. But I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to go watch the rest of this game. Thank y'all for showing up. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.